Good evening, mga kalaro, and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro lang channel where Sportitos talk about a different kind of game. The reality TV game show and social experiment that has run for over 2 decades, Survivor. I am Chief Bizdak Joel Parcon, and with me, as always, is Vice Chief Bizdak Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
Oh, I just got Gablered.
There you go.
There we go.
And of course, that's going to be a big topic for tonight's episode. But also, before that, we also have with us the man with the thoughts. Let's all welcome the one, the only, Martin. How are you doing, Martz?
Man, it is a big episode, a huge finale. I just got one question for all of you guys. Would you like to dance, sir?
Huh?
Okay.
I'll just hide behind my little Gabler portrait here.
Okay.
All right.
I am hiding in plain sight.
Hiding
God
in
dang.
plain sight.
Just like any alley gabler would. You know?
All right. Before we get into anything, I just want to inform our Kalaro that tonight the council will take a look at the season finale of Survivor Season 43, entitled "Snap Some Necks and Cash Some Checks." Very, very surprising person who actually got the lion. But it couldn't have been anyone else, right?
Yes,
Who got that
yeah.
It couldn't have been anyone else. That's why last week, Jao and I were like wondering who would say this. Only Cody would say this. And then,
And lo and behold,
Cody from beyond the jury gets the line, the jury testimonial. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting, of course, with our highs. Guys, let's go with our highs. Oh, I think that I'll have to start this off by saying Gabler. I called it during
From
the
day one.
preseason show. Gabler. Just looking at that mud-caked face, I knew that he was the one. He was the one. Right? Right? What do you guys have to say about that? What do you guys have to say about season 43, Survivor season 43 winner, Gabler? Mike Gabler.
he was
He
hiding
was-
in plain sight.
Yeah, he was truly the alley gabler, the assassin,
The
mind
assassin
you.
in the night.
The assassin in the night.
Mhm.
So congrats to Gabler and congrats to you, Mr. Joel, for
Yeah.
getting this right. Because
Yeah.
our winner picks kind of took the fall this episode.
Well, technically,
this-
Zhao's
Winner pick took the fall right there.
a winner pick did win because he did say that while Jesse is his canonical pick, whoever eliminated Jesse would become his canonical pick, and it was Gabler who technically eliminated
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah,
So
well, for me, I stuck to Jesse. So I'm
you
glad he
stuck
made
with
it till
Jesse.
the end.
Yeah.
know.
Well, Jesse, I mean, I think
was a good
I've seen some other videos, and they did say, and even also in I watched Rob. Rob has a podcast, and it was there that they did say that this season the story was Jesse's.
Yes.
Right? The story of
yeah.
the season was Jesse's. It's just that part of that story was hiding the actual
In
winner.
plain sight.
Right?
I mean, this was the thing that was throwing me off last our last recording. I was like, it's obviously Jesse,
Mhm.
right? But
Yeah.
then like the thing in the back of my head was like, it can't be that obvious, right? It can't be like
yeah.
Kasi winning. Or not Kasi winning. It couldn't be like Kasi being the mole, right? Like it couldn't be that obvious. And so the other thing that was sort of the back of my mind was Gabler was getting all of these like assassin getting, to assassinate the king or whatever. And if we go by that logic and like Jesse was the king, Gabler
Yeah.
was the assassin that didn't come in with an axe saying I'm gonna kill you. It was, the dude that was
We took him out
under
one-on-one.
the it was,
Yeah.
it was a dude that was under the surface, being the alley Gabler,
Yeah.
waiting to strike.
Mhm. Although
And
one
he
could
got that with the
also,
jury.
yeah, he got that from the jury.
No,
One could
when
also
he
say-
said for the jury, they were like, "Oh my god, Ali Gabler is so funny!" Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
ha. And
Yeah,
it's
that's actually something that where did I see that? I think someone was analyzing the winners, and the
All
one thing
right.
that really popped out was that if you start seeing the jury laughing, agreeing a lot with what one person is saying in the final tribal, that's a huge sign that that's the person that they're gonna vote for,
Nice.
because that person makes them comfortable. And I think
Mm.
we haven't we it was never shown to us by the editors. Kudos to the editors for really leaning on the hiding in plain sight thing, leaning on the going under the surface, right? But apparently Gabler had really good relationships with all of them, right?
Yeah.
He made all of them feel comfortable, right? I mean, palm fronds aside, yeah, he really made everyone. I think that was probably what he had in mind, right? Make sure to make everyone feel comfortable. It was a miss with the palm front. He was trying to make Sammy feel comfortable with the palm front, but that was a miss. But it was in the end that was his strategy, if you will,
Yeah.
right? Make people feel comfortable so that they'll also feel, if they end up in the jury, they'll feel comfortable giving you the $1 million, which he felt comfortable giving away to veterans, for veterans in the war veterans in the US, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
a big high for me too. I mean, that's new. That's new.
This is the
yeah.
first time in Survivor history, actually,
Yeah.
someone donating everything of their winnings for something instead of keeping it. So now I hope he does say that, because it's been recorded and millions have just watched it. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he's true to his word, because there's obviously gonna be a news article about that soon. In the
Hmm.
next 24 hours
Not
after the
not
episode.
I'm sure that news
There
Already
already
article
is,
is.
right?
flew
Yeah, there's
out
already
the
is, right?
stands like the second that he said it.
Yeah.
Right?
Because that's your clickbait headline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clickbait
Gabler
headline.
Survivor winner donates all his
Winnings.
winnings
donates $1
to.
million to charity or whatever.
Well,
Yeah,
technically, it's not gonna be $1 million. Well, it might be $1 million because
because
since
it's
it's a
charity,
donation,
right?
yeah, it
It's
might not
tax
get
free.
taxed
Yeah.
as high.
Obama isn't gonna get it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff
Well,
Kent,
Jeff
you
Kent.
got
There
your
you go.
wish after like what, a decade. After
Yeah.
10 years, Jeff.
Yeah.
You win,
Question
Jeff.
though. Question about Gabler. Is Gabler this generation's Chris Underwood?
Actually, yes. But
Why do you
no.
say so?
But no, actually.
Okay.
You know why?
Why? Yes, first, Martin.
Yes, in a way that he won the game because he won the fire making challenge. No, in a sense that Chris Underwood did that when he had immunity. He showed he was top dog versus the guy who was like the other contender for winning that season where he won. That should have been Cassie's move.
That could have been
She
Cassidy's.
should have Cassidy's move. She should have done that. She would have done that. Maybe she would have won by like just one vote, because half
No, she
of
probably would
the
have swept the entire. No, it would have been perfect.
not really, because Gabler was still there, so Gabler would at least have at least 2-3 votes. Because
No, but Gabler
Owen
didn't
wanted
have like
to.
the big move
Oh yeah, at the
of
big
taking out
moment. Yeah, the
he
best
didn't
guy.
have he wasn't
Yeah,
the one who took out Jesse.
she would have had at least one vote, just like what Cassidy had, maybe. But I'm thinking
I would
Cassidy
have.
lost
It's a would
this
have, could
because
have,
of
but
that.
I think
Yeah.
that Cassidy would have swept the entire jury had he done that, because I mean, kudos to Cassidy. She played a very impeccable game.
Yeah.
She did all three. She outwit, she
Outplay.
outplayed, she outlasted all of them.
Yeah.
Right?
It was just really unlucky that she went up against Gabler, who got a near perfect game.
Yeah.
Like, had this been another season, I think this would have been Cassidy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Samoa. Had this been Samoa, Cassidy would have won. Like if there was a bitter jury.
Well,
But
a lot of
I don't know.
Twitter followers, Twitter people are saying that this was a bitter jury. They were bitter
I
against
don't see it
Cassidy. I don't know. Yeah.
because the only one I think would have been bitter was Carla. But even during the final tribal, I don't see her being too bitter.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be friendlier, right? Because Carla knew when she got eliminated, this is only a game. But before we go to the final tribal, I gotta say, how did you guys like the move that Jesse did during Carla's elimination? Like Jenny was like,
Well, we already saw that he was gonna do that. It was Final Five, right?
Yeah.
And that was the last
Yeah.
time that he could
Yeah, it's the
use
last
the.
times you
But
can
that
do
was
it.
yeah,
So
that's a high. Right, we're
that
still
was
in
a
the
high,
highs. So
right?
that's a
That's a
high,
high.
right? Jesse with that one last move.
Yeah.
Uh, there was he was
Masterful
thinking
move.
of playing it for Carla because they did think about doing that and flipping it and
Yeah.
taking out Cassidy, but he just going back to what we've been saying throughout this season. It's a lot of going with your
Right?
gut, and he went with his
Yes.
gut and played it on himself.
Mm.
That was
Yeah.
one of the highs before the ending. The next high I think was we go back to Carla. Like she outwitted Owen, which I kind of want to put this on the next part and the lows, like when she got the advantage.
Okay, so what was it? Is it a high or a low for you?
For Carla, it's a high. For Owen, that's like a low because we go back to the Charlie Brown edit of Owen where he always says it in the confessionals. It's
Yeah.
like
Well,
that was a good
oh,
that was
I
a
actually think
good
that
call.
I don't know. I don't know with Jao, but I actually think the Charlie Brown edit was a high for me.
Yes.
Okay.
For
It
yeah,
was a high.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, it 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 made Owen lovable.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
He wasn't like a zero vote finalist that we didn't care for.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
or maybe it's just his like sort of super fanness, and and I guess because a lot of people were what do they call themselves, the Owen fans, the Knight
There's
Riders, they call themselves the Knight Riders,
wow, Night
Oh.
Riders.
right? Owen Knight, right? Owen Knight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
night.
You know, because
Okay.
there was a lot of hype with Owen, from, well, basically the internet, and as somebody that played a game that would endear themselves to the internet, Owen did just amazingly well.
Hmm.
And the edit really really highlighted that. You know, he was such a great narrator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be honest, yeah. I love like that well, if we can do a season high, that portion, I think we mentioned this when he was trying to tally all the advantages that they had during that merge. It happened on the lower screen. You guys
Yeah.
remember that a few
Yeah,
episodes ago?
of
Yeah.
course. It was like one of the highest points of the season, along with the octopus.
Uh,
That is something that I'm gonna talk about later.
Ooh,
But yeah, no, I mean
the
the
octopus.
Owen and the Chirons and Jesse and his master plan. Those were like two of the highest points of the season. Uh, uh, Another high for me. Wait. Well, before I go with another, because I came out with the first high. Jao, what high do you have?
Um, Owen.
Okay, okay.
The that story where he where he almost, well, where he got
Got the
the
advantage.
football like
Yeah.
pulled away from him by Carla, who they said was Peppermint Patty,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or was she
Probably,
Lucy?
yeah.
Because she should have been Lucy in that.
she should have been if it's the football. But
Yeah,
it's also Peppermint Patty, right? Peppermint Patty. No, Peppermint Patty never does that to Chuck. It's always
yeah,
Lucy who does
it's
that to
always
Chuck.
Lucy. So I have to go back and watch that, because if they cut to Carla when they said Lucy, or when he said Lucy, which I don't think they did,
I
but
don't think.
if they cut to Carla, that would have been amazing,
Yeah,
because she wears blue, right, and Lucy wears
yeah,
blue, that, but like seeing that sort of come back right after not getting the advantage, and then coming back and winning,
mhm,
like,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was a triumph of the human spirit moment,
yeah.
and the way that they presented it was just amazing. It was like Romeo
Mm,
in a way,
mm,
like
Oh, Romeo.
uplifting the zero vote finalist,
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
because
In the end, he had the well, albeit not a real, it not $1 million victory. He still had the moral victory, and it's
Yeah.
because of the Charlie Brown edit. I think
yeah,
that's why it's also high for me.
which is,
Uh,
which in a way makes it's kind of sad, because um
Wow.
Carla didn't have a big moment this episode, right? Because Owen had his moment,
Oh,
with
right.
that with that immunity. Oh, that was with
Charlie Brown thing.
yeah, with the Charlie
with a,
Brown,
yeah,
we had, Cassidy challenge beast, which was like the one thing that I called was that Cassidy was going to win the final immunity challenge because Cassidy is a challenge beast.
Yeah.
So she had that great moment.
Chomps beast.
Jesse had his amazing send off. Like at that point, the episode might as well have been over for me. Right? Like, it was sort of the emotional kind of it was the emotional peak of like the entire season, and it was the Gabler win, for better or for worse, seemed like a bit of an afterthought. And Gabler, of course, had his moment with that jury performance, which was just like Todd Herzog good. And
Survivor China, guys. Survivor
yeah.
China, for this.
And so those were all highs.
Mm.
And like those moments. And the accompanying down is that Carla didn't really get that moment. But like those being able to wrap up the stories with a very sort of feel good kind of emotional high was just like a great 3 hours of television. Well, actually really 2 hours, because they were able to cram that into like a 2-hour edit.
Yeah.
Indeed. So wow.
Yeah. And just to go back to Gabler, as part of my high, I think that especially the past two seasons, Marian Okech and Gabler, they both won it in the final tribal because of how they
Yes.
managed the jury, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the jurors came into final tribal not really knowing who to vote because their pick was among them. Jesse was in the jury. Had Jesse got into
Their
final
winners
three, he would
among
have
us.
been hands
The
down. That would have been 8-0, right?
Yeah.
But as circumstances would have it, Jesse's among the jury. So they went into final tribal not really knowing who to vote. And Gabler, the way that he answered all of the questions that were put forward, and the way that he actually helped in bursting the bubble of Cassidy, thinking that she had any agency in the Ryan boot,
Nope.
right?
Ride or die, baby.
It was ride or die. It was ride or die all the
baby.
way. That was their plan. It wasn't hers,
Ride or die.
right? Yeah, the way that and Gabler owned up to it, owned up to being part of ride or die. What was that? The Baka Boys. What was his different
Baka
alliances?
Boys.
The different alliances that he
I
had.
forgot the other
In a
one.
sense, he sort of had the same game as Sammy. He tried to connect himself with everyone else. He was a flip flop in a way, but he didn't make people feel that he was flipping and flopping all the way. Not like Sammy. Again, the difference of what 19 and 51, 32 years. Right?
Hell yeah.
Can
Yeah.
right. And not just that, the maturity that also comes with it. Right?
Good age. Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
Gabler.
I don't know, man. It's like to my mind, it's really weird. Because Gabler winning is definitely a high,
Mm-hmm.
but Jesse losing is a low.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
yeah. We can talk about that a little bit more in more detail when we get to that the next part. Martin, what about you? Any other highs on your side?
really want to jump on the high that Owen Fine.
No,
Maybe I'm
we're
wrong.
not jumping. It's just we just go with your highs.
Adding on to the high, it does remind me of one Survivor album that had a Charlie Brown edit on both his seasons, Spencer Bledsoe, because just like Spencer, Owen didn't have a vote. But the difference between Spencer and Owen was Owen never had that moment where he felt in control.
Mhm.
Spencer had 1 or 2 episodes that he's in control, and when he was, dear God, he was like a Prince Joffrey. Being a total Nancy pants. But Owen, like, oh, maybe it's my shot now. Oh, maybe it's my like every time, every damn time, except when he wins immunity. And when he wins immunity, it's like what they said in the jury. It's not like he was so in your face about it. Like he was so arrogant. No, he was actually legitimately happy he won immunity. because he loves the game. And it's like, I'm glad, not just for Owen. The other high here, not just for this episode, but for every part of the season, was this cast. I feel like, if not all, most of them are really super fans. Because if you recall, the last time all three were there in the camp, Cassidy was talking about, hey, when you were watching Survivor, did you expect us? Would expect you to be in the final three? And then they were talking about that, right? The final three feast. And like, I think this season and the past, what, 41, 42, is like us. These are the seasons for the super fans who've been there since maybe day one, or maybe when they tuned
Well,
in.
yeah.
Different eras of Survivor.
Probably not all though, because
Not all.
Cody
Cody was
admittedly is not
Oh,
a
Cody
super fan.
was.
He learned about the
Wow.
game while he was in the game.
he learned about the game through Jesse.
Yeah, through Jesse.
Oh, through osmosis.
basically, like
Yeah.
he actually alluded to it in the when he said, I forgot whether it was in the jury or during one of his
Or
exit
the re-
interviews, where he said that basically Jesse dragged him to the final six.
Oh,
Mm.
man. Wow.
Yeah, like, you know, Cody admits that Jesse dragged him to the dragged him to the final six.
I think it was in the
Oh.
wasn't it in the reunion show where he was like,
Yeah, could
"Thank
be,
you
yeah.
for dragging me to the final six."
finals.
Yeah. So, you know, because he wasn't necessarily a super fan.
It was
Yeah.
just a casual or a recruit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
I
more or
mean,
less.
kudos to Jeff
Cody.
Probst for
For
not
spotting.
for picking Cody to be part of this
Amen.
cast despite him not being a super fan, because he turned out to be great for TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
Live
here's
in,
one. Yeah.
right?
Here's one thing
He
I'm
got the
glad I
super
was
fan in
wrong.
you, Martin.
Yeah. Here's one thing I'm glad I got wrong about the ass man, because the first or second episode about this series, I did tell you guys, like, as much as I love him, he might be the first one out. And I'm glad I was so wrong about that. He stuck through the
Mm.
penultimate episode of the season. And that
Mm.
guy's good TV. So
Yeah.
if there was an all-star season, I hope he also comes back. 'Cause
No,
he's good TV.
we'll talk about that in
Oh,
another
later.
episode.
Another
Right?
We will
episode.
talk about that in
I like
another
that. I
episode.
like that.
People that we want
Wanna come back.
to get invited to come back.
Mm.
Yeah, watch out for that, mga kalaro, in a
That's
future.
all of them this season,
also.
basically.
All of the actually, yeah.
Well, I
There
can
was
do
one
without
or two.
Geo, but yeah.
Yeah, we already
uh,
have someone who's like a better Geo in the previous season.
who?
You know,
Romeo?
yeah, he was kind of better than Geo for me. He
Okay.
actually controlled the voter too.
Mm.
Geo was like, "Oh, I can control the vote. Oh no, I got voted out. I got voted. Me Jews, me Jews."
Okay. All right.
But-
Any other highs? Oh, this one. I love, well, Martin sort of alluded to it. When when his opening line. Uh we got the first live tribal ever of the season
Yeah.
in the final the final, that was the final five, right? That was the final
Yeah.
five.
yes.
Yeah.
Note how there was no knowledge and power. Knowledge is power in play.
No,
Thank
no
God.
knowledge is power in play. No idle nullifier in play. Nothing at all. Right,
Which
and we
made
got a
for
very lively tribal, and I love that. I love the fact. I mean, for all its for all the chaos that ensues whenever you have a live tribal, it's nice. It's good to see that. Right.
What really sucks though is that, like, it didn't change anything. I like it when the live tribals change the vote.
True. True.
Like,
Nah,
that's what would have taken it over the edge for me. Like, if it had changed the vote.
They finally listened to Keith Nail and stuck to the plan. Somewhere in his farmland, Keith Nail is happy that they stuck to the plan.
They stuck to the plan. Well, Carla didn't stick to the plan.
That's why she got voted out.
No,
Probably got
because
voted out
she
there.
she was in her voting parchment. She started writing Cassidy,
and then
she scratched it
changed
out
to-
and changed her vote to Jesse. She didn't stick to the plan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because
you know.
go ahead, Martin. Go ahead, Chow.
Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, because, like, the way that would have or could have worked was Jesse plays the idol for Carla, and then all of the votes against Carla negated. Carla puts Yeah, Carla puts Cassidy's name down.
Yeah.
That was the plan, or that was one of the plans. Huh? But I don't know. Jesse.
Yeah. I think Jesse double crossed Carla there.
Yeah.
He went with his gut, and his gut worked out. Right.
Yeah, man, that finally worked out.
And actually, Carla also went with her gut, and
Yeah.
it would have
It
worked
would have
out
worked
if it would have worked.
Jesse
Right?
didn't go with his gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was I don't know.
Very smart move.
It was quite the again. You know, Carla had to fall so that Jesse could fly, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
in the same vein, Jesse fell so that
or
Gabler
the alligator
Could
could
resurface.
reemerge.
So the alligator could resurface.
Yeah, and take one final snap out of the competition.
You know, see, Carla, the sole reason that you put Jesse's name down was so that he wouldn't get a perfect game.
Yeah. It was very petty. It was so funny. It was so funny, and I love her for it.
Put his name down just so that he couldn't get a perfect game.
Yeah.
But technically, he did because it nullified the vote, the idol. When you think about it, that will not count.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Does not count.
All right. All right.
You put the
Yeah,
name, doesn't count the tally.
All right. Yeah, true.
So, like, he's technically still didn't have a vote cast against him because
Mhm.
it got nullified.
But the guy who really actually never did get a vote
Got the win.
Yeah, got the win.
Got
That's
his-
Gabler.
And I like how he did the spiel like, I know I never had a vote written against me, but now would be a nice time.
Yeah.
Or something like
Like,
that. Right?
and everyone was like
Laugh.
laughing, everyone was smirking. I think that was also probably the first time that he told everyone about the Ali Gabler.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you could see with their reaction.
Yes. They
Oh,
were like,
Ali Gabler. There was a raucous reaction. to it.
they laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, kudos to the editors for having that as
Like, what?
for making the choice to introduce it earlier on in the game for the audience.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That way, like, we aren't distracted
Yes.
from the tribal if that was the first time we hear about the
Yeah.
Ali Gabler.
Yeah. True.
And,
Because
you know,
we
it was-
Ali what?
Yeah, it would have
It would have
it was
detracted
set up
from our enjoyment of seeing the jury react that way.
Yeah, because we were like,
Yeah.
we see how we reacted in their reaction.
Yeah.
And not that we are reacting with them. You know, see, dramatic irony, that's the sort of thing that dramatic irony allows us to have, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Survivor. Oh, another thing I called, which was like a super high. They showed the flashback right at the beginning. So predictable.
Oh, wait. That's
Mm.
true. In the beginning, they played the Survivor theme song. They
Yes.
didn't show all the castaway, but they played the Survivor theme song.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
But
a low.
just a bit though.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
a bit.
that's a low for me.
Yeah.
It was
That's
high,
a
though. It
what?
was
That's
like,
a low for you?
it's a low.
Because why did they put it for the final 6 when they should have showed every cast member from the one who got voted out first to the final 6? I know that's like Survivor tradition. I know that's been played for the past 40 plus seasons, but this was your chance to give us the Survivor intro for this
Mm.
season.
Mm.
And you dropped it.
Okay.
Oh,
We'll talk about it a
dropped it.
little bit more
Yeah.
later.
for the low.
Any other highs?
For me, I'm good. I like it was good. Congrats, Gabler and the Gabler Ali Gabler Natics. How do you call them his fans now?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know, but I suppose I could count me in as one of them, you know.
Yeah, Gabler Natics.
Since
Gabler
day
Natics.
one. Since day
Yeah,
one.
man.
It's day one ish.
Mud face.
Yeah. Joel is an
Joel's
OG.
winning face.
Yeah.
The win.
Oh, well, I do
Keep
have
the
like
win,
one more. I mean,
Oh.
you Ja, you said you talked about how Cassidy is a challenge beast, and I think that
Okay.
the final 4 win for her, that was a clutch immunity win for me. I said this last time. She won immunity as well last time. Last time, right? Uh,
Yes.
last episode, and I said that. Oh no, yeah, last episode she won immunity. And that was like a Michelle. What's the name? What's her name?
Russell Fitzgerald thing.
Michelle Fitzgerald. That was a Michelle Fitzgerald win last last episode, and I thought that this was another Michelle Fitzgerald win. She could have followed it up by relinquishing it and then going up against Jesse in fire and winning it, and then that would have sealed the deal for her.
They should have.
That was her path towards the win for me. It wasn't like, oh, I'm secure in what I've done and I deserve to be in the final three. No, you go for the kill, Mamba mentality.
Yep.
Kill the one who is the no. Who don't send someone else to do the killing for you. You do it yourself. Right?
Is that is it a bad thing that that it's kind of expected now?
It's expected if you have a stronger or like a really strong favorite, I'm guessing, in the final four. Among the four. If it's more or less balanced, if there's no one sticking out too much, because that's what they did with that's what what's his name? Underwood did with I don't know, Chris Underwood did with Devins.
Yeah.
Right?
Rick Devins.
Rick Devins was such a huge favorite because of the way he basically was also an Owen. He was playing from the bottom. And he just kept on finding immunity idols after immunity idol. And he got to final four. And then here's Chris Underwood, who played like a total of 6 days on the island because he played the rest of it on Exile, right?
Or
Edge of Extinction or wherever the other island, and comes in. And meanwhile, Devin was like a huge favorite. So I guess it's expected if you have like someone who's like far ahead of the rest of the pack. But if it's a more balanced field, I don't think it's expected for the immunity winner to relinquish immunity and go with fire. Just like with 42. Marianne didn't. Then she had immunity for that last one, right?
Yep.
Well, it was because Gio brought her.
Oh, was it? Oh, Gio. Yeah, Gio. No, not Gio. Romeo. Romeo won.
Romeo. Sorry, Romeo. Sorry. Romeo.
Romeo won. Yeah,
Romeo won. And
but that actually goes against.
And we were saying that Romeo's path to the end was fire.
He needed to go against because he had Jonathan Young, who was a huge. If he had gotten to final three,
he would have
right. Probably would have won.
But they put Mike there just for
Mike there, the fireman.
Yeah.
Ironic was it Jonathan Young? Wait, was it Jonathan? No, or was it Lindsay?
Not Jonathan, because the final four was Jonathan, Mike, and
Jonathan, Mike, Romeo and Marianne.
Marianne, yeah.
Marianne. All right. So there you have it. I mean, well, and so it was that. Had Mike been able to manage the jury better, he probably would have Gablered as well.
The problem was he wasn't too much for words, so the only guy who gave a vote for Mike was Jonathan, because I think it's like a respect vote that you took me out, have my vote.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Yeah. So I don't think it's requisite.
What the fire thing in 40? Who fire in 41 was Xander who won the final immunity?
Oh God, that's been a while. Ironically, it's been a while, but I think it was.
I claim I go back to my poor memory, so I don't.
Heather lost the fire challenge.
Oh,
that's what I remember, right? I don't know if it was Xander.
Did she go against Erica?
Or Erica?
No. Erica was brought to the end.
Oh, right. Yeah, because
Xander put Heather up against Deshaun.
And
we were also saying that Xander's path to the end was fire.
And then Yeah.
I don't know. I personally don't. I personally think that it's not requisite for the immunity winner to relinquish immunity. It
No.
depends. It depends for me. If it depends on how secure you are
Yeah, on the security.
in your place vis-a-vis the two who are going into fire, because again it depends on whether or not there's a maybe Cassidy had a higher sense of her worth compared to Jesse.
Mhm.
uh yeah, so she just needed someone to like take Jesse out.
Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
yeah.
My, I don't know, although I think Cassidy knew that she'd probably lose fire,
That's what that was. Yeah, actually. So good job on Cassidy not,
which is why
you know,
she
She opted
sicked.
to
relinquished. Yeah.
send the assassin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
To
she was
the
like,
other assassin.
yeah, that's why she sicked Gabler um on Jesse.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like apparently, uh, Gabler had to audition in front
Yeah,
of
audition.
in
Yeah.
front of in front of
Can I
Cassidy.
see?
Like he had to
Can I
make
see you
fire.
make fire?
And I make fun. It was so funny. Like, hey, can I make fun? Okay, go ahead. Cool.
Yeah, like apparently he had to like make fire in front of her twice.
Hmm.
He was like, "Put me up, coach. Put me up." And she was like, "All right, show me what you got, kid."
And he did it really well, right?
Yeah,
His flame was just
world
going up.
record,
Yeah.
4 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, new record, right? New Survivor Fire record. Anyway, any other highs, Joe?
Just a small one that I really liked
Mm-hmm.
when Dr. Lopez was like, I I got a PhD and it was in political science, and then it cuts to James going like, this guy.
This guy.
Like, whoa.
Sorry. In James's voice, this guy.
This guy.
It seemed as if they were intentionally garbling James's voice. I don't know if that's his real voice. Anyway,
That is his
I
actual
think
voice.
that's
It's,
his
it's
actual
insane.
voice.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
insane. I wish I had whatever. I wish I had that voice. Sometimes, like, yeah, I sound like Satchmo, dude. Um,
Mhm.
but like that was a tiny little thing that just made me smile. You know, it's like, "Ah, this guy."
Mm.
Like,
Well,
Everyone loved Jesse. Everyone. I was half waiting. I was half hoping that Gabler would, because he already told us in a confessional that he was gonna donate the entire
yeah,
winning to the fund for
the
veterans, right?
veterans.
I was half expecting him to split that into two and give half to Owen, right? Because I mean, especially based on that final thing that Owen, that was also one of the first. I don't know. Am I remembering it correctly? That was probably the first time that I heard Jeff interview someone who just lost fire.
Oh,
Is it
maybe
Mr.
I
Survivor
wouldn't remember.
historian Martin?
I don't remember much, but what I remember is this. If you guys go back way before Heroes versus Villains, there's another curse aside from the. I think is this the new car curse? Whoever picks the one who will, or if they wanna, and if they don't want to take the fire making challenge, they'll automatically lose because Xander lost, Romeo lost, now Cassidy lost,
No.
and
I'm talking about whether or not Jeff has ever
oh,
interviewed anyone who lost fire.
I think he did in Winners at War when it was Sarah versus Tony.
Well, yeah, but that's Winners at War. You interview everyone.
Yeah. Then there's the answer. Then there's the answer.
You give everyone time to talk
Yeah.
in Winners at War, because these are all
The
your all time
heroes. Yeah.
heroes, right? But this for
I
me,
don't know.
it's significant to me that Jeff gave Owen, I sorry, Jesse time
Jesse the floor. Yeah.
to tell everyone about what he's actually fighting for.
yeah.
And yeah, it goes to show that really this season was Jesse's story. It just
Yeah.
so happens that his
Yeah, but
story was meant as a smoke screen for as the mud that would hide
Someone
the
that would have
alligator,
alligator.
right?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
remember something about how the editors of Survivor wanted to edit this particular season sort of like a whodunit,
Ooh.
Mm.
and the sorts
Wow.
of things that you would look for in a whodunit should apply to this as well.
Oh, that would be nice
And
to
so
look back
if
and see.
yeah, that's I suppose that was also why I was thinking like Gabler had a shot in the last in our last couple of recordings. Like
Mhm.
if they're true to the who done it thing,
Mhm. Mhm. Because he's silent.
Jesse was
He's
the
silent.
one that had to be the one that
He's
got
the red herring. He's the end
it.
tag.
He was the one. He was the one that would have been in a regular in a regular who done it. He would have been the person that they found dead at the beginning of the in the beginning of the story,
Okay. Hmm.
and we look for clues to see who was the one that killed the person that they found dead at the beginning of the story. I think if we do a rewatch of this season with that in mind,
Hmm.
that Jesse is the body at the beginning of the whodunit story, we'll see Gabler's story play out a little bit more cohesively.
Mm. What are your thoughts on that, Marts?
Well, I wouldn't know. I think I am here to concur about that.
All right. So anyway, if that's all of our highs, let's go to our lows. I don't have like a huge low, not like the Gabler high. So let's start with Marts. What are your what is one of your lows?
Yeah, I'll just make it short and sweet. It's the intro. You have the intro. You have yet to give us the real Survivor season intro, and you gave it to just 6 of them. You use the intro song for everyone in your cast, guys. But that's just me. That's just me nitpicking. I'm not a
Mm.
good editor, a video editor, what have you. But as a fan, like, you use the song. You didn't even use the real part of the song we like to see in the intro, like the way, like that whole season 43. What's the opening spiel of this intro? Is there something like a Fijian chant now? Or something like an alligator, like, reaching up in the swamps of Fiji, something like that. The animal
Are
references.
there alligators in the
Yeah,
are there
Does
swamps?
I
Fiji
don't
have
think so.
swamps?
I don't know if there is, but there
Does
should be because the
Fiji
winner
have
is an
swamps?
alligator,
One
or like
thing
someone like
that I know was
emerging from the
not in
mud.
this season though
Yeah.
was the Kraken. The Kraken never made a freaking appearance except
Wait,
as the Kraken snuffer.
hold on.
Hmm.
What if the Kraken was the friends we made along the way? No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I think the
Is the Kraken
Kraken
no, actually the
is
note
the
that I
other
have
form
here.
of the alligator. It's the evolved form. The Kraken
What?
is the winning alligator, right? It's
It's
like
the Kraken with
Pokemon.
$1 million.
Yeah.
Sorry, the alligator with $1 million. But no, my thinking is that they were probably thinking, okay, what kind of monster like dominates? You don't really see it, and then all of a sudden it comes up, and then it devours the ship or whatever. Right? Ever since the start, it's always been you get marooned. You're supposed to be like shipwrecked on an island. The whole idea of survivors, you're shipwrecked on an island. You're you're like 20. How many was it originally? And then you have to form a society, and then you figure out along the way. Maybe the Kraken is supposed to be the monster that is Survivor. I don't know. That's probably what they have. But then again, it never made it into the show in any other form except as the Kraken snuffer. Right? That's probably also because that's the Kraken claiming yet another victim.
Hmm.
Because in Survivor, fire means life.
Oh
Right?
man.
And when your fire is snuffed, so too is your life on the island.
Ooh.
Right? So
I wonder
that's
what the snuffer is gonna look like next season because they seem to have like this medieval thing going on.
yeah. I kind of like that. Let's dwell a little bit on that later. Yeah. Any other lows? What about you, Joe? What low do you
Joe.
have?
I'm getting bored of the after show.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't want to see. I don't want to see uh Owen and Cassidy just be depressed. You know,
Mm. Well,
it's
they
that.
did say that in their Rob has a podcast exit interview, didn't they? Or at
Yeah,
least Owen did. Owen did.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like for the rest of them, yeah, okay, cool. But like for the runners up, it just seems cruel.
Mm-hmm.
Like they haven't had time to process it, and the way that Jeff probes is, and the way that they process it in that moment isn't exactly the sort of processing that one might need to,
To
overcome the trauma of
yeah,
losing $1 million.
in that fashion. I mean, we saw their faces as each of the Gabler votes were being read. Both Cassidy and Owen's faces were like, "What on earth is happening right now?" They were totally blindsided by the jury votes, right? And then for you to have to sit down and talk about it like mere minutes after all of that happened. Oh gosh, yeah, I can, yeah, that's hard. That's hard. And Owen said as much in his exit interview with Rob Sesternino.
And when when you watch the episode, you can kind of feel that, right? You can feel what Owen was talking about in his Rob as a podcast exit interview. Like you can see his, you can kind of understand why the after show with Owen and the Cassidy was the way it is.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm not a particularly big fan of that.
Maybe
You
if
know,
they did it similar to before again, where the it takes some time so that they'll have gotten to a better place already. I mean, better state in their lives. They'll have
yeah,
already showered, gotten comforts, right? And yeah, you still have the reading of the votes in the end, right?
It's true,
But
man.
yeah, you the in the reunion show, but at least they'll be in a better mental state, I would guess, as compared to the pressure of 26 days and then you just lost and then you're asked about it right there and then.
yeah. It's sort of,
Uh,
oh, I don't know. I don't know. That was in a way that was, yeah, that was basically my low of this episode.
Hmm.
The
okay.
the after show, like,
Thoughts on that, Marts?
I gotta agree. It got a bit like the the novelty wore out. That there's pizza and champagne, but there's another low I want to add because I've been waiting for this since what the last season. Where the F is Ponderosa, guys? You have a good jury. This is where you should put it back.
Mhm.
yeah. Oh,
I don't
all we
know.
have are these
I don't
like
know. Like,
all we have are these
right?
2 minute long TikToks.
Right? Like, I know you guys wanna
Oh, so it's
push
all on TikTok?
TikTok.
Well, they have them on
So
YouTube.
yeah,
Like, it's called After the Snuff.
yeah. But I'm like,
Oh.
not not every people have TikTok or wanna check it on TikTok, even though you put it on Reels and YouTube. It's like us here in local podcasting. I don't want to freaking watch your podcast on Kumu. There's YouTube or there's Spotify. Don't
I mean,
want
it's
Kumu.
on
Get
YouTube.
that
It's
out
on
of
YouTube.
there. Oh,
After the
thank God.
Snuff.
Thank God.
After
Thank
the
God.
Snuff is on
I'll check it
YouTube. It's
out.
just After the Snuff sucks.
Yeah, it's not like Life on Ponderosa, I guess. If
Yeah,
that's it. See, I want Life on Ponderosa, man. I
it's
want
just
to know
like
who's
another
the
confessional. That's
mayor.
that's basically what it is.
I want to know who the
Oh,
king of
okay.
Ponderosa is this season, right? Like the
Janine.
former Jenny. Okay, there we go. See,
Janine is the mayor of Ponderosa. But
Yeah.
yeah, you get to it. They do have like a pseudo
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa thing. Like I said, no, it's not that good. It's just about a
Hmm.
minute long vertical video,
Yeah.
Correct.
Maybe it's
which
also
which
us Titos not really getting with it, with the kids,
With the
and their
kids,
thing
yeah.
about the TikTok, you know.
Yes, the TikTok.
Yeah. So as Titos, we don't really quite like understand or
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah.
the production value, The production value isn't there. It's just basically them with the phone,
Mhm.
and they're taking a video of themselves. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks, but hey, we're Ponderosa. I just had a meal or whatever, like that sort of thing. It's not great. It's not great. You're not going to get a music video or anything.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like the dragons. Like, can we not have that again? Like three of them forming a band, even though it's from that video game with the band thing.
Right? And,
Yeah.
you're not gonna see Wendell rapping that Ponderosa rap.
Man. Oh,
You know,
we need that
But
rap.
wasn't it? Yeah, the Ponderosa rap was started by someone else, right?
yeah, it was like a really corny video, and
Yeah,
Wendell,
did it in
uh,
Winners at War.
did it in Winners at War, uh, to poke fun. I don't
Yeah.
know what it was. I don't know what it was,
To
but it's
immortalize it.
wicked catchy. It's wicked catchy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, another low for me, because yeah, one of my lows is the fact that we never got a Kraken. We never got the Kraken in this season, and the other one is I still go with my whole thing is I can do without the slow motion. No, I'm sorry, the drone shots. Yeah, and the slow motion as well. Every time that they enter the arena, you've got slow motion. It's like I'm watching Pirates of the Caribbean.
I find it okay. It adds it makes it feel like a more expensive show.
Production values are high.
Yeah. So for me though, I could do without it. I mean, give me the challenge. Show me someone like Cassidy being a badass at the challenge, subverting expectations. Carla persevering through it. I don't need all of the. I don't. I For me, I'm not much for the slow motion and the drone shots. Yeah.
All right. I find it okay. It's just it's the expected it's the expected thing now.
Yeah. Maybe
Oh.
also, again, that's also me being, a tito. I mean, an even more tito, a
Yeah.
tito or tito than you, Jao.
Get off my lawn, crazy children!
Yeah. Any other
Old man
lows,
yells
guys?
cloud.
I'm good. For me, I'm good. That's all I want to
Wow.
about. Like,
I don't have
production
necessarily
wise.
highs or lows because this this episode was a vibe. Like, I don't know. When I watched the episode, that's what I just felt that it was like a vibe more than something that we could pick apart and analyze in the way that we normally do. I don't know what it was about this episode that made it feel different. Maybe because it was long.
It was long. It was almost 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
With a reunion, after show. It's not a reunion show, because they don't bring the entire 18 cast of 18 back.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That's something that I would like to. I should have probably pointed out when you said that you're over the after show. Yeah, they should bring back the entire 18.
Hashtag bring back Justine.
Yeah, especially
Yes, Justine.
Yeah.
We need Justine.
Anyway,
what's it?
Yeah.
I guess my low was that one of my lows was that I got it in 3. Because like my winner pick, right? Justine, then Jesse,
Mhm.
then
Gabler.
then Gabler. So I got it in 3.
Yeah.
Whereas with 41, we got it like straight up.
Man, but 42. I don't think any of us thought that was gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Either. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, so no more lows.
just general thoughts, though.
Yeah, general thoughts, guys.
My
I actually somehow have some
thoughts.
other notes here that are neither high nor low.
Yeah,
So some general thoughts. Yes.
Is the new era of Survivor about playing under the radar?
if
because our 3 winners have done that
yeah,
under the radar in different ways.
Yeah.
or more than playing under the radar, I think it's more like managing your threat level.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I guess both can be the same. But it's really about making moves, but but not letting other people know that you're making moves. So I guess it is playing under the radar. But yeah, using the jargon that they used here, it's yeah, managing threat level. Just like that's how Jesse managed to get to final five, right? It's just that in order to get to final five, he had to make back to back huge moves that put
Yeah.
him way over the top, and he had to be taken out because he became like threat level midnight.
Omega.
Omega.
Yeah.
Yeah, threat level midnight. I prefer that. I prefer that. That's better.
Yeah, for the you who don't know, that's a The Office reference.
Dwight.
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 Yeah, in a season where we got Dwight. Yeah, I actually got to a point in this episode where I was like, "Is not you asked if the new era of Survivor, the path to winning is playing under the radar." I was starting to think, oh my gosh, for this season of Survivor, is the Charlie Brown edit the winner's edit? No.
I think so.
It's
So
the
when-
bull in a china shop edit.
or the guy who was hiding in plain sight edit.
Yeah.
But you know that is something that I really liked about the season as a whole. This is just sort of tying it to Gabler, right? Like the editors did show us somebody that was hiding in plain sight. I don't think any of us actually had him as our purple of the week.
Nope.
None of us had him
Wait.
as our purple of the week. I
No,
don't think.
not at all.
Not this week, obviously.
No, not at all. The entire season.
We might have given him goat of the week at some point, but
Yeah.
One episode.
Yeah.
Episode we did.
Goat of the week for some episode, but he was always there. He just wasn't. Again, he wasn't a Cody who was like loud,
Yeah.
and on the other hand, he wasn't like
Jesse
any
or
other of the survivors of the castaways who at one point or another just wasn't seen or wasn't felt. Right?
So he was in a way hiding in plain sight.
Yeah. He was there all along. He just wasn't noticed. He was the silent assassin in the night, poisoning the bowl of the king.
That was
I
really
think-
cool.
I think Wu is happy that someone finally made Ninja Stealth mode and won this game.
What was that about? Like of the winners, like of the winners, Gabler is one of the WTF ones. Like
Yeah.
like nobody really
His
saw that
win
coming.
really surprised a lot of people.
Like even the people on the jury.
Even the people in the jury. Yeah. Oh, one really cool hiding in plain sight. I don't know if they meant to do it. But the Final Five challenge. Remember the phrase? You can't hide you cannot hide yourself in a dangerous game.
Ooh.
It was about hiding, but
Wait,
not
let me-
really hiding.
In a
Because you
dangerous
cannot
game.
really hide yourself in a dangerous game.
But Gabler did.
But Gabler did, and Gabler
And
won.
Take that, Survivor.
Take that puzzle challenge. Number 2 of that episode.
Right? So it yeah. I don't know if that was a clue. If the producers were starting to clue in on the fact that, oh gosh, this guy might just win, or oh gosh, it's the people who are hiding who are getting to the end, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's
Is it?
not on the wiki.
I wouldn't be on the wiki, but yeah, I think it's you cannot hide yourself in this dangerous game or something like that. But I do remember that there was like a hide word in the.
Huh.
Right.
Huh.
So that's like in a game of lies and trust, you have to be able to get everyone to trust you, and that's what Gabriel did. Made people comfortable.
So I'm looking. I'm looking for it. What the actual phrase is?
Uh-huh.
Martin Vamp.
Martin, what do you have any other thoughts about the season?
Well, for me, it's a feel good. Well, fine. The ending reminded me of Winners at War, where the fire making challenge was really a tearjerker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like a showdown between two friends in the Winners at War, Sarah and the guy who won it,
Tony.
Tony.
Tony. This one, when the one lost it here, this was more shit. This guy was trying to win this challenge because he's been putting it his all. It's like all of them were putting it their all. Not gonna demean or demerit anyone else in that final four. But man, we saw this guy trying to move mountains just to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, he even had to turn on his ride or die, which was the ass man Cody, right? Just to make it there. But nope, all his boats were gone, man. He used the last one on the last tribal council, and he couldn't set that fire up. So damn, man. Damn.
Yeah, I'd like to think that while Jesse played a really good game, the one chink in his armor was the fact that he couldn't perform in challenges.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
he never did well in challenges, especially the individual challenges. And fire is yet another challenge.
It's a key element to survive in this.
Yeah, because fire in the game with Survivor, fire
is life.
What is it?
You cannot hide in a dangerous game.
There you go.
Okay,
cannot hide in a dangerous game. But Gabler did. Gabler won.
And fire represents life in this game, and he couldn't light it up way high to keep his fire. But it's at least he went down swinging. Like he didn't get serried out of it like Advantage Geddon.
Yeah.
Ironically,
that wasn't ever gonna happen because he had two of the idols. Why would he ever get advantaged out?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think at least he left in that way, like with his held. But damn. That's it. But it's still a feel good story for the ending. Like the guy, I think the right guy still won in the end because you guys did say it. Well, fine, Jowd said it. Like whoever's gonna win is the one who's gonna beat Jesse in fire making challenge or something to that extent, right?
Whoever beats Jesse wins.
Whoever beat Jesse was gonna be his next canonical pick. Yeah, and yeah, I said it also last episode that among the three, they needed to beat whoever wanted to, it needed to beat Jesse in fire, because that's just how far ahead Jesse was compared to the rest of them. And how sort of balanced all the three of them were. You couldn't really. Yeah, the feeling of the feeling that the jury had heading into final tribal, I had that same feeling that these guys have to show their merits, and goes back to stuff that we were talking about before. It's about self-awareness. You're aware of what you did in the game, and that's what you use. That's your ammunition heading into final tribal. It's just that, yeah, Cassidy's, one of Cassidy's bullets was like ricocheted, didn't really hit the mark.
Yeah.
Right. And in the end, Owen's ammunition just wasn't enough. Right. He was too much of a Charlie Brown. There was one final Charlie Brown football sequence for him, and that was that. That was the final tribal. And he went on with a moral victory though. I actually feel a little bit more for Cassidy because for me, she she did everything. Outwit, outplayed, outlast. She did all of that. It's just that Gabler managed the jury so much better with what he did in the entire game.
That was a really good final tribal performance.
Yeah. And apparently it lasted for like 3 hours.
They usually last that long though, right? Like they usually last really long, and they just edit them down. But
and you kind of get the feeling that the jurors were starting to get swayed during the time because they were starting to help. They were starting to help Gabler. They started to help Owen. Actually, Cassidy was. It's a little sad that I don't think that Cassidy got a lot of help from the jury. She got a lot of kudos for the stuff that she did, but yeah, whenever other people started talking, and then yeah,
that wasn't your move, basically. You know what I found really interesting about that final tribal and those three there? There was only one move that any like between all three of them. There was just only one move that was worthy of resume, and that was taking out Ellie.
Yeah, because I mean Owen was never a driver in the bus. Cassidy's move was apparently not hers.
So the only person that actually had a move was Gabler in taking out Ellie.
And he didn't even like really push the vote. He just dropped the bomb. He just dropped the grenade. He just nuked it. He didn't really like.
That was really good on Gabler. Like if it wasn't going to be Jesse, Gabler. Yeah. In what? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's also the narrative that Cassidy was robbed.
Really?
Yeah, there is. There's that narrative that Cassidy was robbed. And there are a lot of
what? She could have been robbed. She robbed herself because she should have just, took the chance to, even though she might not have been as skilled as what? Gabler? Jesse wasn't as skilled at making fire too. So there's still like more than a 50% chance of winning in normal math or in Steiner math.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing with the fire making
fire challenge, yeah.
Right? Like it is something that Cassidy stands of which I kind of am tend to point to and say like, do we need
to go through fire in order to prove yourself worthy of the final three?
Yeah, like it's like you win immunity and the expectation is for you to give it up, right? Like that's one of those questions that's out there. But then like on the other side, it's precisely these fire making challenges that give players like Jesse the chance to make it into the final three, because without the fire making challenge, Jesse is just straight voted out in the final four. So on the one hand, the fire making challenges, it's great because it gives the potential for somebody like Jesse to make it to the end and absolutely dominate. But on the other hand, for the person that is forced to drag somebody into the end, that's forced to decide who goes into fire, it's starting to feel like the expectation is you win immunity, but now you have to give it up.
Yeah.
Kind of like how as amazing as Noel's immunity win, or was it a reward challenge? The loved one's visit, that was a reward challenge.
Reward challenge, right?
Yeah. Right?
Reward.
The smart move there is not to win that. Like the smart move is to throw that reward.
Don't paint the picture in your back. Yeah, you don't paint the target in your back.
You take the target off your back. So like it's not it's it with that family reward. It's not that you get to take people; it's that you have to take people, right?
Mhm.
It's sort of that kind of thing as well with fire. That's at least that's what the discussion seems to be around.
I guess so.
Is it good for the game? Is it bad for the game? It's this season brought up some of those questions as well, like knowledge is
Yeah.
power. But like that, I suppose that's for our full season review.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We will have an episode reviewing the entire season, season
Oh.
43, as well as taking a look at some of the stuff that we would like to come back for season 44 that we hope will come back because they've already started filming it. And so yeah, so the stuff that we want to see and changes that we would like to have made, because we do know that CBS is always listening to us, and there is a chance for us to get them to listen to us more because of that Gmail account, that survivor shoutout at gmail.com.
Oh wow.
I will be sure to use that in the coming days and send shout outs to Survivor, to Jeff Probes, because we do know that Jeff is the one who reads that.
A quick question, man. I appreciate that there's a shout out email, but dear God, they could afford at least to change the at gmail.com, right? At their own
At
domain.
CBS, could have been at cbs.com.
Yeah,
Maybe they
right?
wanted to get like I don't know. I don't know, but they went with a Gmail.
All right.
Uh
Maybe they have a partnership now with Gmail or Google.
or Google.
I
Yeah.
hope so. Paramount Plus, maybe.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe we can go ahead and chat them because they're on Gmail, right?
Let's hope at least they, paid enough for storage of that email if there's a
Yeah.
lot of shout outs, because even though this is not as much as watch as those that were being aired like 20 years ago, there's
Mhm.
still a lot of email shout outs, guys.
Yeah.
They're gonna fill up your inbox if it's not
Of
like the
course.
above 15
Of
gigabytes.
course. I'm probably gonna use that email a couple of times in the next couple of days.
That's nice.
I'm gonna start sending them, telling them about this, about how I called it from day one, and number two, telling them about this little group of Titos
Titos.
in the Philippines with a very
Yeah.
small video podcast and a podcast, right? Trying to get their attention, right?
Yes.
We have nice shirts.
We have nice
Yes.
shirts.
And
I
we
was
would
supposed to
totally
have a buff.
ask them.
I was
Oh.
supposed to have I was supposed to have a buff, but I was hoping to get the buff by today, but because of the Christmas rush, it's held in customs. They haven't been able to check it yet.
Man.
Yeah. So I hopefully in our next episodes I'll be wearing it already.
Though, how did you get that? Is it one of our listeners or fellow
It's one of our
Survivor
listeners,
fans?
one of our friends, Rex.
Oh, Rex. Hey,
Yeah, so he
Rex. Thank
offered
you.
to pool, to get a pool of
Mhm.
people who wanted to buy stuff from season 43, and I joined that group. Yeah, from the official Survivor Philippines fans Facebook
Something.
page.
Yeah, Facebook
So
page.
shout
Yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
to Rex.
Yeah,
Hopefully
shout
we
out
get our
Rex.
buffs soon.
We got our buff game on, man.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, gentlemen? Titos.
That's all for me, fellow Titos of the council.
All
Good
right.
episode. Good episode. Good way to cap off the season.
Mhm.
The previous episode was definitely better.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But we were able to get a good sort of wrap up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
If the last episode was the climax, this was definitely the denouement.
yeah, basically.
It was the action was like going down already.
Yeah. So, this was I still think that Survivor is being edited to be binged now.
And I heard it somewhere. I did someone from our heroes on No Buffs. They did also say that especially season 43 will be will be a better watch if you binge it. So yeah, there you go. No buffs. Picking up, listening also to Jao.
Oh, no buffs. Thank you, no buffs.
Best.
No, they did. I doubt they did, but yeah, we're just
No.
saying that they did.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're our
This
heroes.
Yes.
They
our
coined the
heroes.
shillelagh of time.
Yeah, they coined the shillelagh of time.
Can't believe.
And the starters are pretty
yeah.
good. Bring them back, NBA. No, actually, don't bring them back, because if you bring them back, that means we won't get no buffs.
Yeah, this current way of them doing it, it's pretty good. Yeah. All right. So if there is nothing else, so yeah, we're like I said, we are going to have a couple more episodes. One to take a look at the entire season 43. And I don't know if we're gonna have it in the same episode, but we'll also take a look at stuff that we would like to retain, stuff that we would like change, and we'll also have an episode or two maybe of people from seasons 41 to 43 whom we would like to see in a future season of Survivor.
Nice.
Right. And with that is it for this episode of the Council of Titos. If you liked our video, hit the like button so we don't get voted off the channel. Also, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll get notified whenever we have new content on the Laro-Laro Lang channel. This channel has other shows on it focused on sports and other similar things. And for those of you who don't want to have to look at our mugs as we talk Survivor, you can always catch us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Council of Titos. And we also have a new YouTube channel up for those of you who can't last the entire 1 hour plus of us talking Survivor. What is that channel we've got, Martz? Sorry, Jao.
Jao, what do you got?
The Council of Titos clips.
Yeah. Council of Titos clips. So search for it here on YouTube. Well, are we also gonna do it on audio podcasts? No, it's only for YouTube for now.
Yeah,
snackable.
It's not going to be.
It's
It's not going to be more than 5 or 7 minutes per video. It's just going to be us, like.
All right. So there you have it. So you've got Council of Titos here in the Laro-Laro Lang channel. We also have our Council of Titos on podcasts and Council of Titos. What? Sorry. Clips. Council of Titos clips also on YouTube. Anyway, this has been Chief Bisdak, Joel Parcon, the guy who called it from day one.
I'm Jao. I got it in 3.
And Martin, hey, at least my pick lasted the last episode until we got voted out. So I'm happy. I'm happy this time.
All right. There you go. We hope you can join us on the council again soon. Until then, stay safe, everyone. The Titos have spoken.